We're going to begin this morning. There is a playlist there for you if you're interested in music. It's up to you. Sometimes it's nice to just be quiet. Enjoy the quiet. We're going to start this morning in a child's pose. So just let your knees go super wide and your big toes to come together. Yeah. If for some reason this doesn't feel good, something's going on with the knee, the ankle, the hip, you can always go on your back and do the reverse. Supta Baddha Konasana. But for now, if you can, activate your hands and your arms. Let the front of the forehead rest. Connect to a big breath in through your nose. And then open your mouth and just exhale out. Good. When you exhale out, drop your seat. Stick your butt all the way back. And then energize your arms forward. Good morning, Jody. Good to see you. Spread your palms wide and just begin to feel the connection to the mat. Yeah. Couple breaths. Ujjayi breathing is what we're going to try and find right now. Inhalation is through the nose. Hey, Kathy. Exhalation is through the nose. Through the back of your throat, feel the air pass slowly and steadily. Try to enjoy the feeling of finding a little bit of relaxation within your own body, mind, and breath. And try your best to enjoy your practice this morning, whatever it is that you are able to do or not do on your mat. Good. Spread your palms wide. Press up to a tabletop position. Yeah, I like that. I've been taking tabletop with my toes curled. I like the subtle stretch to the base of the feet, if that's available. Hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Dristi is just at the edge of your mat. Just reminding you that dristi is the word that we use for focus. So just pick your focus point, focal point, and then go ahead and extend your right leg back, but keep the toes curled. So it's kind of like a half plank, just doing it like this. These are your hip points. Keep them down. Your pelvis is neutral. Your body is nicely aligned. Keep your gaze forward. Slide your left arm forward. Just the left arm and the right toes are curled into the mat. A very simple movement just to begin to make body-mind connection. Let your breath just free flow. Feel your right palm press down, your right outer arm, hug in. And then if you're okay here and your balance is all right, see if you can float your right leg up, only hip height. Strong flex of your right foot. Connection to your breath. Extension of the left fingertips more forward. And a strong flex of your right foot as you firm up your right quadricep a little more. Keep the lift of the leg, bend your right leg in half. Just pause here. Imagine like there's a soft ball behind your thigh bone and your calf, and you're just kind of holding it there. Good. Slide your left arm straight back. Pause just here. Breathe. Fire up your right thigh, lift a little higher. Spread your left shoulder blade back and lift from your left palm up a little bit higher. Hold. We're not even going to grab the foot. Just draw in. Take another big breath in. Release the right leg back and the left arm forward in one motion, and then take your hand and your knee to the floor. Good. Curl your left toes in. Fire up the thigh bone. Just pause. So a lot of times we get ahead of ourselves. We get excited. Slide your right arm forward. Be okay with doing less. That is the goal, almost. Let the left leg float up. Move in steps. Draw the waist up. Draw the belly in, just as you would do in a plank position. Preparing the body. Keep the neck neutral. Bend at your left thigh. Just pause. Make sure the knee doesn't wing out. It stays directly behind you. Squeeze the glute, the quadricep, and the thigh bone. Lift it a little higher without the hips opening. Slide the right arm back. Reach far back, like you're really broadening your chest. Press a little bit more with your left palm. Keep your neck neutral. Keep the breath flowing. Imagine a little soft ball in between your thigh bone and your calf. Squeeze it tight. Another big breath in. It's like you're flying in space. Leg and arm reach in opposite direction. Hand and knee come to the floor. With the toes curled, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Let the head go. Take a second to establish your dog for today. Broaden the outer arms, plug into the mat. Let the index fingers be placed forward. Yeah. If you know you're tight in your shoulders, play with just turning them out a tiny bit. Let the head go. Bend as much as you need behind your knees. Spread the toes wide. Draw the belly in. There's a lift of your waist, a lift of your ribs. And just connect to a few cycles of breath so you can arrive into your practice. Use your thumb, your index finger, use your baby finger, press down. If you're having difficulty with the focal point of this, just pick one spot. Pick one spot to focus on. Roll forward to plank. Stack your body nicely. So you just did that little basic setup. So it's all the same principles of alignment here. Broaden across the outer arms. Hug into the center line of the body. Plug down. Lengthen your tailbone. Bring your waist, lengthen it a little more. And then bring your dristi to the front edge of your mat. If it's too much, just drop your knees. But see if you can stay. You're not trying to power through it. You're just trying to kind of maintain. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Most likely your hands and feet have found their place at this point, so they're set up for you. Roll forward again to a plank. Good, nice and slow. So before we move on here, just lift your right foot, flex it really strong, just an inch from the ground, and do what we just did. Bend at your knee crease, flex the foot, lift from the thigh bone, pause. Wrap the sides of your body in, lift it 1 inch higher. Yeah, extend your right leg back, flex the foot, lower the right foot down. Everybody drop their knees, bend your elbows in half to a supported chaturanga. Keep your neck long. Draw the waist up. You're holding supported chaturanga, whatever that looks like for you. Re-straighten your arms to a plank position, curl the toes into the mat, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. So just breaking it apart a little. Roll forward to a plank, let your body align. Lift your left foot, pause. Flex the foot, activate the thigh, bend at your knee crease, lift from the thigh and the glute. Hug in. Take another big breath. Extend the leg back, flex the foot a little stronger, lower the foot down. Opt in for the knees down if you prefer. If not, bend your elbows, chaturanga. Straighten your arms to a plank. Downward facing dog. Look to the top of the mat. Walk your feet. Try and do it slow, keeping your hands down. When you arrive, you have a choice. Keep your feet together or keep them a little separated if that feels better on your back. Long spine on the inhale. Weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Come all the way up this morning. Ground. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms, palms face forward, shoulders draw down the back, thigh bones contract. Weight is grounded. Good. Inhale the breath, stretch your arms straight up. Look forward or look up a little bit. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Allow yourself to set up, plant your palms, 2 big steps to get you back. Now, you can opt out of all the push-ups today if you prefer not to take them. If not, bend your elbows in half, pausing your chaturanga. Drop your knees down if you'd like it that way. Drag your chest through for an up dog, point your toes, activate your thighs, press through your palms, and broaden your collarbone. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Let the head go. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Look to the top of the mat. You can just walk for this next one. Get your feet there. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Just movement and breath. Stretch the arms up. Look up with your eyes. Yep. Dive over bent knees. Forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Plant your palms. 2 big steps. If you're ready to float, that's fine. But please land it with chaturanga arms. Drag yourself through an up dog, fire up your thighs, point your toes. Downward facing dog, hips pressed back. Feel the hands press down. Keep lifting the hips up off the shoulders. Look where you want to go. Step or float, feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale. Remember, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Bring your hands to prayer. Let's keep going like this. Stretch the arms straight up. Look up. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Plant your palms. 2 big steps or a light float. Chaturanga. Upward facing, drive your chest through your body, press through your palms. Downward facing, hips float back. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Look where you want to go. Step or float, feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Hands to prayer at heart. One more. Stretch the arms up. Go big. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Step or float through a vinyasa. Upward facing, drags you through. Downward facing, presses you back. Bring your feet together at the back of the mat. Look forward. Lean onto your left hand. Just take a very basic Vashisthasana side plank. If having the feet stacked on top of one another or staggered, such as I'm doing, doesn't work out this morning, drop your bottom knee, create some support for yourself. Firm up your left arm and slide your right arm up. So there's always something to play with for you that makes your practice unique. Just because I'm showing one way doesn't mean it necessarily works. Lift from your bottom hip. Stack the shoe shoulder blades nicely on top of one another. If the feet are on top of one another, spark up your toes, which means flex them a little more. Lift a little higher. Look to the floor. Take the right hand down. Pause. Lean onto your right hand. Go right to the other side. Stack the body. So we're just looking for alignment. Finding your alignment. Yeah. Power, strength, flexibility, all that other stuff comes way after. Lift from your bottom hip. Know when to back out if you need to. If you look up, you may find yourself able to get up a little higher with your bottom right hip, so give it a whirl. Another big breath in. Look to the floor. Set up your hands and your feet for a strong plank. Bend your elbows in half to a strong chaturanga if you're taking it. Keep your neck long. Drag your chest through for a nice up dog. Feel the chest, feel the thighs, feel everything a little bit more open. Take a downward facing dog, hips press back. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. Roll forward to plank. Hug your right knee to your navel. Yeah, just hug it straight in. Yeah. Now scoop out your lower belly and round in a little deeper. Yeah. Look forward, land your right foot forward. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. Take your right hip, steer it back, your left thigh bone forward. So you're setting your feet up for warrior one here. Bring your arms back and just pause. So you're just gonna hover and you're gonna feel the strength of your back left leg. You're gonna bend as deeply as you can into your front right thigh, not into the knee joint. There's a big difference. Your arms are reaching back, so your chest is open and broad, and you're really steering with your feet and your legs. Anchor down and then rise warrior one. When you come up, if you find your torso really forward, lift from your waist. Lift from your waist, from your hip points. Press more through your feet. That's where you're gonna get the power from the ground. Broaden your arms and your chest and just pause for a moment. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Step to a plank. Pause and plank. Decide if you want a chaturanga. If you do, pause and chaturanga. Re-straighten your arms to a plank position. From here, hug your left knee in. Scoop out your belly, round your spine. So you almost feel like your shoulder blades are like kind of wrapping around you as you hug in a little deeper. Look forward, land your left foot forward. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. Steer your left hip back and your right thigh point forward. Bring your arms back and hover. Steer with your feet, your legs, your hips. Feel the strength of the side of the body. Feel your chest very open. Press down and then rise, warrior one. Sometimes when I get up, I find I can have a little bit more space to slide my front foot forward and give myself a little bit of a longer stance, just depending on the day. Lift from the side of your body, press through your feet. See, when you look up, you want to look up a little bit with your eyes, not with your neck. Yeah. Take another big breath. Hands to the floor, plank position. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Up dog pulls you through. Downward facing dog presses you back. Look where you want to go. Step or float your feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale breath. Exhale, fold over yourself. Sit into a chair pose. Weight goes into your heels. Thighs move back. Waist lifts. Arms energize. Drishti moves forward. Sometimes you find yourself a little stuck in this pose. Sometimes it's just where you're looking that can shift the posture for you. So play with where you choose to find your focal point. Press up to stand, drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms, let's put it all together. Stretch the arms straight up, feel, and then sit into chair. Nice and easy and steady today. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step, you can float through vinyasa. It's up to you. Up dog, downward facing dog. Land your right foot forward, turn your back foot on an angle, warrior one. So if I'm moving a little too quick for you, then you slow it down. Hands come to frame your front foot, plank position. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing, you guys look good. Left foot forward, back foot on a strong angle, warrior one. Hands come down to frame your front foot, plank position. Bend your elbows for that chaturanga, up dog. Downward facing dog. Always pause after that sun salutation. Let your body just kind of reap the benefits. Press into your hands, look where you want to go. Step or float, feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold over yourself. Sit again into a chair. Weight moves into your heels. Good. Press to stand. Hands to prayer. Two more just like that. Stretch the arms up. Sit into chair. Make it nice and light and easy. Dive over bent knees. Forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Step or float. Remember, if you're going to float, bent elbows, chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing. Right foot forward. Back foot on an angle. Warrior one. If you hate warrior one, you take crescent. Hands come down to a plank. Bend your elbows in half. Upward facing. Downward facing. Just like that. Left foot forward. Back foot on an angle. Warrior one. Nice. Hands to the floor. Vinyasa or not. Meet me in a dog. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Feel your hands anchor. Move your gaze forward. Look where you want to land. Step or float. Long spine on the inhale. Weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Sit again into a chair. Weight goes into your heels. Press to stand. Bring your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Here we go. Stretch the arms up. Aren't we having fun? Lower your seat into a chair pose. Dive over bent knees. Forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Step or float. Vinyasa or not. Upward facing. Back bend. Downward facing. Right foot forward. Back foot on an angle. Warrior one. Hands come down. Plank position. Chaturanga. Upward facing. You can always just move through a dog. Downward facing. Looks good, Katie. Left foot forward. Back foot on an angle. Warrior one. Hands come down, plank. Vinyasa or not, meet me in the dog. 3 breaths when you get to downward facing dog, just get yourself together. Press through your hands, look where you wanna go. Step or float your feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale, exhale, fold over yourself. This time just root to rise, come all the way up. Sweep your arms out and up, bring your hands to prayer. So time for a little block action. So you're gonna use a block, I like a cork one. Place it in the middle of your mat somewhere. Take your whole right foot. Once again, if you don't have a block, don't worry about it. Whole right foot's gonna go on the block. Yeah. Left leg's gonna bend up into a tree. Okay, so I'm able to get my foot up into the shape of a tree, but if your balance or your hip doesn't wanna go in this angle, do it down low. So just make the shape of a tree pose. I'll turn towards you so you can see better. What I want you to focus on is gripping your outer hips in, standing up tall on that block and feeling your right foot. Bring your hands to prayer. Yeah. Let your shoulders draw down your back. Feel the sides of your body grip in. Your waist engages, your ribs lift, and just pick a focal point. Feel your right foot press into the block. Grip your hips underneath you. Now, with your arms, the growing branches, I like to call them, open them up today with the palms facing up towards the sky or the ceiling. So like they would be really open through your upper torso. Pause here. So the expectation is a little, uneasy. You're moving a little right, you're moving a little left. Good, you work through it. Breathe more life into your upper torso. Yeah. With your eyes, start to bring your drishti up. Just your gaze towards the sky. Be here. Couple more. Hug your right glute underneath you. Wrap your left hip under you. Hands to prayer. Step down. Other side. Whole left foot goes on the block. Use the strength to press yourself up. Bend your right leg in half. Tree pose. Hands to prayer. Hands in prayer. Turn the fingers forward a little. Broaden across the upper shoulder blades. Grip your left hip and left glute firm, and your right hip, hug it underneath you. Expect to move a little right, left, forward, backward, maybe even fall. Open up your arms if you want more. Broaden your arms in your chest. You should feel a lot of space here. Upper collarbone nice and open. Pick a spot to focus on. You can even close your eyes. If you are going to look up softly with your eyes, not with your head or your neck. Work through it a little longer. Stay with me. Hands to prayer. Good. Step down off the block. With your feet together at the top of the block, at the top of the mat, you're going to take now your block. You're going to use it again. You're going to place it, line it up with the outer edge of your mat like this. Yeah. Take your right foot. So it's the same shape we're going to create. Take your right foot onto the block and now open up your left leg for a warrior 2. I'm telling you, use the outer blade, just the other edge of the mat, just so you know you have the right alignment. So that way your right heel is on that block, your right foot, and your left heel is on the edge of the mat and it's turned forward a little. And then you open up your arms just like we did with the palms up again. Yeah. So the feeling is that your left leg is really strong and your hip, your left hip, is moving towards your right knee in a sense. So that way you can get your knee to track over your ankle. And then you pay attention to the little things like, is my right knee or my right foot starting to turn in? Externally rotate it out. Broaden your arms and chest more, and now close your eyes. Use just as much strength with your right arm as your left arm. And for the last 3 breaths, lengthen your tailbone down. Keep the shape of your legs. Keep your palms open. Start to move your arms. So now your right arm, your right tricep is going to press against the inner part of your right leg, and your left arm is going to slide up. So you're using your right arm, somewhere on your right arm, either your tricep, your forearm, to press the hip open and slide the left arm up more. Then you bring your gaze up. Anyone who practiced Bikram, this is the old version of triangle. In that series, this is the triangle pose. Grip your right hip underneath you. Yeah, the triangle didn't have a straight leg, if you remember. Yeah, grip your right hip like you did in tree pose underneath you. Turn your right ribs and stack your 2 arms the best that you can on top of one another. Hang with this. Press firm through your left leg. Come back to your breath. The sensation that is happening right here will not stay with you throughout the whole day. Squeeze the legs down more. Press through your feet. Pull up warrior 2. Straighten your right leg. Scoot your left foot in. Keep the front foot on a block. The palms are still facing up. Now you're going to take your right palm, press it to the inside of your calf, and slide your left arm up, and then wrap it forward. So your left arm wraps forward if you can. Take your bottom ribs. Keep turning them. Soften behind your right knee. Use the strong left leg here. Stay with it. It's a lot of core movement here because you're really using your obliques so you don't dump down. We don't want to dump down. We want to keep lifting up. Yeah. A little longer. If having the arm wrapping forward is kind of creating agita for you, just have the arm straight up. That's fine. Stay grounded. Stay with your breath. Look to the floor. Begin to circle the left hand down. The left heel is going to peel. The right foot's still on the block. Use a tented hand or slide a second block underneath your left hand. Grip your right hip underneath you. Easy twist, right arm up. Yeah, feel your foot press into the block. Lift from your waist and twist. Feel the openness in the chest. Do you feel that? It's working a completely different. So these are the same poses we do day in and day out. And this is how we have change in our body, more importantly in our mind. We do the same thing over and over again, the same results happen. Look to the floor, tent the fingertips. Now getting off is not the prettiest thing. So let's just see if we can do it nicely. So you can either drop the knee, take the foot off the block, and then just step to a dog. Yeah. That's the beauty of being home. Roll forward to a plank, bend your elbows in half to a chaturanga. Drag yourself through an up dog. Yeah, take a downward facing dog. Look to the top of the mat, step or float, feet there. Come to the fingertips, long spine, fold over your legs, root to rise, come all the way up, drag your hands to prayer. So set yourself up again at the edge of your mat because it's gonna help you with your alignment. So the block, now it's gonna be the left foot on the block and the right foot is gonna turn in. Warrior 2 with your left foot on the block. Open up your arms, palms face open towards the sky. Yeah. Check in with your alignment. I know on this side, my left foot likes to turn in on me. So just make sure you've got it forward. The block is a great tool for that. Wrap the inner thigh open, hug the hips and the legs. Your waist is long. My torso is not turning towards my front leg. Close your eyes. Be here 5, 6 breaths, tops, I promise. Lengthen the tailbone down. Use the strength of the feet and legs to elevate you. So rather fighting it, receive it. Keep the shape of the legs. Keep the palms open, guys, because all you're going to do is start to move your left arm and press the left arm so the thigh presses open. As you do that, make sure that you're not pressing the leg and the glute all the way out. You're hugging the hip in and then sliding the right arm up. If it's too much, your arm can always rest on your thigh. Take your bottom ribs, keep twisting them. Use the strength of your right leg. It's really powerful. Come back to your breath. Grip your left hip underneath you. Turn the bottom ribs. Just have the two arms stacked for this version. Yeah, keep the chest really open. It's going to be easier to breathe. 3 more. Feel the feet, feel the legs, feel the strength that you're creating here. Without too much bounce, pull yourself back up. Warrior 2, keep the palms open. Straighten the left leg. Scoot your right foot in about 1 inch. Start to move the torso. Now the left back of the left palm is going to press against the inside of the calf. If you need to be up higher because back issues, take it up higher. Right arm this time is going to wrap forward. So when you wrap your right arm forward, you're turning from your bicep. Your baby finger turns down. Your chest does not collapse. So keep lifting. You lean back just a tiny bit, but the turn is happening with those bottom ribs. Little bend behind your left knee, especially if you know you got better flexibility than the rest of us. Use the core, use the obliques. 2 more. Okay, start to move your eyes down. Circle the hands to frame your front foot. Keep your foot elevated on the block. Peel your right heel off and take your easy twist this way. Back leg is strong, right hand tense, left arm opens. You got it. Practice hugging your left hip underneath you. If reaching the floor is problematic, slide the second block or something underneath your right hand. Grip your right hip and glute in. Look to the floor. Getting out can be challenging, so drop the knee, move the block to the side, step to a down dog. When you arrive in your downward facing dog, let your body roll forward to a plank. Bend your elbows in half to a chaturanga. Pull your chest and your heart through for an up dog. Pause here. Rebend your elbows back to chaturanga if you have it in you. Straighten your arms to a plank. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Look to the top of the mat. Step or float your feet through. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold over your legs. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart center. Have a block at the top of your mat. You'll need it next. Okay, so now you're standing on your right leg. You're gonna hug your left knee in and give it a squeeze. Just do this much. You're gonna reach down and grab your big toe. So guys, if you got confused, my standing right leg is the power leg. My left leg is bent in. Hook the big toe, slide the right hand to the hip. This may be where you stay today. If you'd like to move on, hinge the left leg forward. Standing right leg has a lot of strength. Right arm can drift up towards the sky. Or better yet today, right palm, if you have the space, open out towards the side. Stay with this. So the right palm is open. The left leg and the left arm is somewhat forward. The tailbone is long and your right leg is strong. I didn't mean to rhyme. This is all we're doing. So just be here in some shape or form. Stand up a little taller. Nice work. Keep the left leg lifted. Keep flexing your left toes a lot. Slide your right arm back up. Good. Keep the lift of the leg. Let your left arm extend up. Now you may need to bend your left knee. That's fine, but see if you can do it with a straight leg. Lift from the thigh, lift from the waist, lift from the belly. Keep the arms up. Start to slide your left leg back to warrior 3. If you like, your arms can reach back. They can come to a prayer, or you could use 2 blocks and you can do an amended warrior 3, which would look like this. Okay, but think hips square, just like we started the practice. Arms can reach back, a little up dog, a little bend in your right leg. Good. Stay with me, guys. And if you just need to keep the left leg straight, that's fine. Bend your left leg like we did before. That's all you need to do. So you're in a warrior 3 with your left leg bent. You're more than welcome to do this with blocks. Start to bring your gaze down. We're very slowly bringing our right hand to the floor, our left hand to the hip. Keep the left leg bent. Start to go into a version of not Chopasana yet, but half moon. So the right leg is forward, the hand is underneath the block, the left leg is kind of bent in half like a dog at a fire hydrant, and then you're spinning your chest sideways. Stretch the left arm up. Yes. Now, if you'd like to move on, left arm is going to reach back. You're going to grab your ankle for the Chopasana and start to kick. The kick goes behind you. Regular version of half moon is always available. Take your bottom ribs, keep turning them. And the idea is challenge yourself, fall out as many times as you need to, so you can explore. Check in with that right foot. I know mine likes to turn. Release the leg, release the arm, regular half moon. Grip your right hip underneath you. Look to the floor, left hand comes down. Square the hips, slide the feet together. Sit into chair. Reach the arms up. Bring the hands to a prayer at heart. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, turn to the right. Keep moving the seat back, the waist stays long, the weight's in your heels, your inner thighs hug together, and there's a twist from above your belly button. Look right, maybe open up your arms today. It may feel like you can get a little bit more chest opening. Back of your tricep will press against the outer part of the right leg. Get in there. Keep the shape of your legs wherever you are. Pull around to a chair. Recommit. Drop your seat a little lower. Bring your waist up a little higher. Press up to stand. Bring your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. That was challenging. Stand on your left leg, hug your right knee in, flex your foot. So just draw the right leg in, give it a good squeeze. Just do that much first. Yeah. Keeping your left hand on your hip, reach down, grab your big toe. Do that much next. Yeah. Pull up on the standing left leg and then extend your right leg forward. Draw the shoulder down the back, lengthen the tailbone. Good. Slide the left arm up towards the sky to start. Stand up taller on your left leg. Then if you'd like, you can float the left arm out with the palm up if you have the space. All that we're doing today is left leg strong, right leg forward in some shape or form. The knee can be bent and the left arm is out to the side with the palm up. Keep the lift of the leg, slide the left arm up. Don't drop the leg, both arms come up. Lift from your core, from your thigh bone, from your waist. Lift a little higher, keep the arms up. Start to slide the right leg back the best that you can. Warrior 3, your version that works for today. Hands can be down on the ground, chest is lifted. Back foot is flexed though. Spin the thigh bone down. Start to bend your right leg in half. Just create a 90-degree angle, that's it. Flex the foot, just do that much. This may be where you stay today with your hands down. Start to bring your gaze down. Left hand's gonna come to the floor about 6, 10, maybe even 12 inches out in front of you. Right hand's gonna come to your hip. Keeping the leg bent, start to turn your bottom left ribs towards the right and work into this bent leg half moon. Right arm comes up. Then if you'd like to move into the Chopasana, the right arm reaches back, your hand and your foot should match. You should be able to grab it. Kick behind you for the back bend, flex the foot. Soften behind the left knee, feel the side of your body, your waist really lifted, and look over your right shoulder if you can. Release the arm and the leg at the same time, half moon. Spark up your right toes a little more. Look down, right hand comes to the floor. Pause, square your hips. Slide your feet together. Sit again into a chair, weight goes into your heels, stretch your arms up. Bring your hands to a strong prayer. Inhale that breath, hook the elbow and twist. Look down, just make sure your knees, your feet, everything looks good. Reggie, the alignment looks really nice. So sit back more, waist stays long, and then look up. Maybe open your arms. You might surprise yourself today. Stay with it. Keep the shape of your legs, pull around to chair. Keep the arms up, keep the arms up. So right here in this moment, come onto your tippy toes. This is incredibly challenging for me. Yeah, so come onto your tippy toes, squeeze your leg, lift your waist, and then start to lower all the way down. So as you sit down, you're high on your tippy toes. See if you can straighten out your torso. Arms up, straight up, lift your waist up. Squeeze the inner thighs together, get higher on your tippy toes. Good, from here, we're moving into Bakasana Crow or Squat Malasana if this isn't for you. Plant the hands out in front of you. The trick with Crow is that your feet must stay together. So your knees are the only thing that's gonna separate here. Your feet are gonna stay together. Your arms, you create a chaturanga-like arm. Your knee comes high up on your upper armpit, your weight comes forward. You can do this with your big toes down and just work here. If you play, 1 foot at a time, lifting up off the ground. Flex your feet, arches of your feet come together. Squat Malasana is always an option that would look like this, tailbone long. Nice, Kristen. Drop your seat a little bit, draw your navel in, and then look forward. Step or float when you're ready, chaturanga or not, meet me in a dog. Nice work. Stay with the flow right here. Glide your right foot forward. We're going to come to a crescent lunge. You can always do crescent with your knee down. Look, the sun's coming out. Hands to prayer. Good. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, and let's twist. I get lazy with my back leg in this pose. It likes to do a little, I don't know, take a little nap. So engage the thigh. Make sure your whole stomach isn't resting on your thigh. Yeah, and then twist to the right. Open up your arms if you want more. You may even feel really good to take a half bind or a full bind. Yeah, you may need to opt out. The going a little less deep into the pose would look like this. You can just take an easy twist. If you're binding, lift the chest and lean back. Crown of the head is going to line up with your back foot. Zip up your inner and outer thigh. Stay with it. Press into your right heel. Look down, take both hands to the floor, pause. So think warrior 3, because we're going to move into revolved Ardha Chandrasana. Okay, so if you know it's just a tough one, slide the 2 blocks forward. You're going to pop your back leg up. Yeah, setup is key. Keep the left hand down and then slide the right palm to the flat part of the back. Keep the lift of the back thigh. Yeah. Waist is long, start to look right, look up. Now, staying within the theme of the practice, because I like to do that, bend the left leg in half. Think of your right arm like you're swimming and reach back with it. Yes. This may be as far as you go. You may want to just bend a little into your right leg so the leg isn't so straight. Lift from the thigh bone. If you know you can get your hand to your foot, then go for it. Kick up, kick back. The hip doesn't open, it stays parallel to the ground. Yeah, your chest turns though and you look over your right shoulder. I like to flex the foot. Yeah, stay with this. You can also just be in an amended warrior 3 or twisting triangle as another alternative. 2 more breaths. Release any binds that you have. The way you went in is the way you want to get out. Good. Start to move your gaze down. Right hand comes to the floor. Giant step back into a lunge. Plant your palms to the floor. Like we started early, hug your right knee in, scoop out your belly. So extend the right leg back, but flex the foot so it's going to look like this. You're coming right back to that bench. Yes. So your tailbone is long, your right thigh is bent, your foot is flexed. Yeah. Now looking forward, land your right knee forward, half pigeon. Yeah. Inhale the breath, lift the chest. Exhale, come forward. Yeah. Let yourself just be. Like, don't worry about the other side. The other side will be the other side. Remember, turn your left thigh down so the thigh bone is resting on the mat. So if you want to try something a little different, I'm all about, like, you know, how do you make these poses and bring them to life a little? So think of a forearm plank with your arms. So think of Sphinx pose. You can pop up onto your forearms. And then very simple, from your elbow to your fingertips, just turn your palms open. That's it. Now, when you do that, press the back of the palms down, broaden the outer shoulder blades, and breathe into the chest. So it's almost like you're creating a little bit of a back bend while you're in the hip opener. Now, stay down a little longer. Good. Turn the palms back down. Curl the back toes into the mat. Lift the thigh up. Press to a dog. Just press back dog. If you need a vinyasa, take it. Plank position. Bend your elbows in half to a chaturanga. Pull yourself to an up dog. Take a down dog. Glide your left foot forward. Crescent lunge. Sweep your arms out and up. Hands come to a prayer. Inhale your breath. Lean forward a little bit and then hook the elbow. Yeah, and just something I've noticed, like teaching privates and stuff, like seeing people live, to get the round out of your back, avoid looking back. When you look back, the spine rounds. So if you look side or you look up, you're gonna get a longer spine. So play with that. Yeah. And think crown of the head lining up with your right heel. Lean back a little, zip up the legs, use your outer hip strength. Open up your arms, half bind, full bind, no bind, thinking of a bind. Just be with yourself here. Yeah. Don't get angry. Yeah. As we hold the pose, sometimes thoughts come, just let them happen. 2 more. Look down, take both hands to the floor, pause. So just for a setup standpoint, if you know you need, like the blocks, swing the weight forward, float the back leg up, do this much first. And then from here, you'll work into your revolved Ardha. Twisting triangle is always an option. My block is underneath my right hand. My left hand comes to the flat part of the back. I start to lift from the thigh bone. The waist is long. And then bend at the knee crease. This might be as much as you're doing. You can also have the left hand down. Reach back with your left arm like you're swimming. And then see if you can get hold of your ankle. Thigh bone up and back. Bend a little into your standing left leg. Take your bottom ribs and turn them. And then look off your left shoulder towards the sky. Hips stay down, thigh lifts. You just do as much as you can. You got it, Reg. Watch the knee doesn't wing out. Hug it in. One more big breath. And then you're going to release the arm and the leg in opposite directions. Look down, left hand comes to the floor. Giant step back into a low lunge. Plant your palms. Hug your left knee in, round your spine. Grip the outer arms in. And then think plank. Your left thigh is going to go parallel to the ground. Your left foot is going to flex up, just like we did before. Yeah. Keep looking forward, hug in, and then with that motion, left knee, left wrist, half pigeon. Get the right thigh down, and then fold. And just take it regular to start. And then if you want to play with the little chest thing here, think Sphinx arms. So bring your arms a little more forward. Have the palms spread wide, and then from your elbows to your fingertips, just slip your palms up. Feel your outer arms wrap in, and then see if you can pull your chest a little more through your body. Good. Take the palms, spread them back down. Now bring them underneath the elbows. Curl the right toes into the mat. You're going to come to a forearm plank from here. So just slide the left leg back, forearm plank. Drop your knees if it's too much. Lengthen your tailbone. Keeping your right arm like it is, you're going to roll to the outer blade of your right foot for a forearm side plank. My arm is forward, but you could, by all means, can turn it in a little if it feels better for the shoulder. Slide the left arm up. If you want more, the left arm's going to reach back. You're going to bend at your left knee crease. You're going to grab your left ankle. So you're in a forearm side plank with a Chopasana. Release any binds you have. Look to the floor, forearm plank, pause. Lengthen, keep the left hand down, roll. You may want to turn the arm in. Stack the two shoulder blades, forearm side plank. Now, if you're up for it, reach the right arm back towards the back foot. Bend at your knee crease. This may be as far as you go for today. You might surprise yourself and grab your ankle. Kick behind you. It's not happening for me. Spark up your toes. Release any binds that you have. Look down, forearm plank. Nice work, everyone. Stay with it. Lengthen your tailbone. Keep your gaze to the front edge of your mat. Take your right palm and press it flat. Your left palm and press it flat. Plank position. Good. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Pull yourself through an up dog. Take a downward facing dog, hips press back. Look in between your hands, hop your feet all the way through. Sit down, grab the outer blades of your feet for boat pose. Outer blades of your feet, lift the shoulder blades. Spark up your toes. Draw your belly closer to your thighs. Now you can stay with your hands on your feet like this, or bend your knees in half, flex your toes a lot, and then reach your arms straight forward for Uttanasana with the legs bent. Keep the legs at a 90-degree angle, slide the palms so they're flat to the ground, a little on an angle in front of you so your chest stays really lifted. Keeping the hands down, you're gonna move yourself into an Uttanasana boat pose. My legs can hover the ground or they can stay up high at a 90-degree angle. So it's gonna be most intense here. It's gonna give you more support with the legs up here. Choose what works. Keep the hands down. Scoop up your lower belly. Yeah. Try to lift with your eyes, not your head. Flex your feet. Stay with it. Press down more. Bend your legs in half to a 90-degree angle. Slide your arms forward. Uttanasana. Pull yourself up without the hands down. Lift from the collarbone and the chest. Reach a little bit more. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Give them a squeeze. Good. So from here, just lay down on your backs. We're going to set up for bridge. Yeah. Move your block with you if you know you prefer bridge with a block, supported bridge. So as you lay down, fingertips skim the backs of your heels. Tailbone starts to lift. You decide what you need. Maybe the block is low, maybe it's medium, maybe it's high. Maybe you're not going for that. You're just clasping your hands, hugging the shoulder blades together. Remember the strength of the feet. The strength of the feet have a lot of power. Lift from the tailbone to the backs of the knees. Take your feet, Katie, just a tiny bit closer if you can. Yeah. Nice. Stay with this. This may be like your winning pose today. May just feel great. You're getting what you want. If you want to move on, flip your palms. Bring your chin to your chest. Take a giant breath in through your nose. And then on the exhale breath, you'll lift up to a full wheel. So when you lift from a full wheel, a lot of times our feet like to go out. So once you get up, see if you can straighten them out. Turn the thighs down. Good. Looks good, Kristen. Lift a little higher. Tuck the chin. Exhale your breath. Lower down. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. One more. Just one more. Here we go. Flip the palms, chin to chest. If you're opting out of the full wheel, maybe you're on a block, you can extend your legs straight up, one at a time. Inhale your breath. Exhale. Here we go. Lift up. Come all the way up. Nice. Turn your feet forward. Wrap your thighs under. Lengthen from the tailbone. Press with a little bit more energy. If you're up in full wheel, tuck your chin to come out. If your legs are up and your block is underneath you, bend your legs in half. Take the feet down to the floor. Once the feet come down, then remove the block out from under you. Then everybody meets with the tailbone down on the mat. Good. Hug the knees in. Grab the outer blades of your feet for just a basic happy baby. Pull the knees down around the back. Lengthen the back of the neck all the way through the tailbone. Good. So just spine twist today. Just take your feet wide. Take them the width of the mat. Okay. Lift your hips up. Take them over to the left an inch. And then with the feet and the legs wide, drop your knees over to the right. So my left leg is more going up and down. My right leg's more going out to the side. Take the right ankle, cross it over the left thigh for a little ankle to knee on your back. Open your arms if you can with the palms facing, the back of the palms facing down. Keep the shoulder blades down or cactus the arms. Roll to center. Both feet go flat and they go wide. Lift the hips up, take them to the right an inch, so your right glute swings to the right. Legs drop over to the left. Your bottom left ankle crosses over your right thigh, and then open up your arms. Come up to center. Squeeze the knees in one last time, like wrap in really tight. Draw the knees into the eyeballs. Take a big breath in. And on the exhale breath, release out to complete Shavasana, rest. So you let go of your Ujjayi breath. You let your thighs turn open. You let your feet drop open. You turn your palms up. You close your eyes. And you set yourself up here for the next minute or so, just complete rest. Take a big breath in. Take a really loud, complete exhale breath out, like press everything out that you don't need. And as you start to move now, move slowly in your body, reach your arms up, stretch big from the top, from your shoulders all the way through your fingertips. Draw your knees slowly in towards your chest, squeeze in one last time here. And then in your own time, in your own way, use the strength of your body to roll up to center. Maybe you prefer staying down, that's fine too. As you sit up here, like I always feel like a sense of accomplishment that I got through the practice, but really rewarding yourself with the feeling of how much better hopefully you feel. Yeah, and then hold on to that. Let the hands come to a prayer. Have some gratitude for yourself, your body, your mind, your time. And then we lift our head, open our eyes. Namaste. As always, it's a pleasure. Catch you next time. Really good practice, guys. Have a great day.